Welcome to the Industry Show. I'm your host, Nitin Bajaj, and joining me today is Sulatha Dwarakanath. Sulatha, welcome on the show.
Thank you, Nitin.
Great to have you here. So let's start with who is Sulatha?
Oh, that's a good question. I've been still finding that out myself, but to give you some flavor of who I am, I've had various hats at various times, but I'm a person of Indian origin. I came to this country about 32, 35 years now, and I was born and raised in Bangalore mostly. But I studied at NYU, got my PhD from there, lived there, worked there, married for 30 years now, and to the same person, and two lovely daughters. And right now, my huge drive is to address various needs for the disease testing market, and I'm currently the CEO of Kaya17.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. And now that we know a little bit about you, let's play a little game. Something we call the underrated, overrated. And when you're ready, I'll share a few themes with you and get your responses on those.
Sure, go ahead.
All right, let's start with something that's hurting us a little bit, the stock market prices.
It's very, very overrated.
What about crypto?
Yeah, I think that's also overrated. I mean, it's kind of changing now, but it's still overrated.
Real estate prices.
Oh man, don't get me started on that. I'm in California, so definitely overrated.
What about the metaverse?
Oh, yeah, that's a whole different thing. Yes, of course. It's always been overrated, according to me.
Cash.
I think that is underrated, if you ask me.
Okay.
You could do a lot more things with that.
What about inflation?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. That is definitely going to hit us very soon.
True. What about the Great Resignation?
Well, I don't know what to say about that. There's two sides to that one.
Okay. All right. The last one I would say is NFTs.
I think they're overrated anyway.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for playing along. Let's bring it back to some questions that are more closer to you. Tell us about Kaya. What is the mission and the vision?
So Kaya17 is a company, biotech company that's very focused on point of care diagnostics. So having this vision in mind, we have created this innovative platform for point of care diagnostics. And it being a platform, you can put various applications on it. Currently, we're working on various different applications such as women's health, allergy testing, and our first application on that platform is the rapid saliva-based COVID test, which we have successfully completed, and we are in the commercial stage for that. So the mission and vision of Kaya17 is to bring the accuracy of the lab tests to the examination room, where the results are communicated in minutes, not in days. So that's our biggest vision right now.
And if I were to further that, why do this and why now?
Well, good question. So I've been in this field for almost 30 years now, more than 30 years. Since 2015, I have been fixated on getting this revolutionary disruptive technology to transform the diagnostic industry from the lab testing to the doctor's office or the hospital or the near patient or point of care testing. And I've been working diligently to find this, new test. And point of care is the next revolution that's going to happen in diagnostics. And basically, what I want to do is compress the time between the test is performed and the results are given, so that you can apply it to various fields. And I'll explain to you how we can do that with cancer diagnostics and other things, where time is of essence. And infectious diseases, we saw that in the last 2 years, where you could, if you shorten the time, you could isolate the person very easily and the transmission rate can go down. So point of care testing, results in 15 minutes, that is your key to containing. So this is the right time, and we have to be prepared for this kind of pandemic situations, and we saw that very clearly in the last 2 years, and our technology made a huge difference for this.
So true. And thanks again for your contributions. Tell us a little more about the size and scale of Kaya, and also project out a little bit from here, because I know a lot of the things are under development.
Yeah. So currently, Kaya is a small company. It's a relatively small operations. We are located in Livermore, California. So you have not seen the impact of Kaya yet, and but we are about 12 professionals now working towards expanding the operations. We are actually expanding the network to both inside and outside US. So that's happening. While we have developed the supply chain and commercialization of the Kaya testing platform, FDA, EUA situation and ever-changing regulatory landscape has made it really difficult for our execution at this time. But it's challenging, but it's not going to stop us. So we do believe that our COVID-19 test will always be an ongoing market that is available for us, and it being a very highly accurate and the only saliva test in the market today will definitely take us to the next level. But we are developing new tests. We are actually developing a women's health panel, which is a oncology-based testing for women's health. And this is a huge multi-billion-dollar market, as you know. And allergy testing, that's another huge market just in the US. And of course, the allergy market is big even in Europe and other places. So we are addressing these huge markets where we'll get into it very, very soon. We are under development with all the testing and automation systems and other things. So we believe that the efficacy and the importance of our testing solution can address these markets, and it'll make a huge difference in large scale.
You are addressing a huge market that has been ripe for innovation and disruptive innovation, honestly. What's the biggest challenge you're facing?
Yeah, that's a good question. Being a startup, there's always multiple challenges that you face, especially being a biotech startup. Your challenges are also, and it's a very regulated market, right? Extremely regulated. So that's your biggest challenge most of the time. But we, ongoing, we are facing funding requirements. There's always that ongoing requirement for raising more funds. And it's also a very heavy resource-oriented, field. So, and regulatory requirements. These are the biggest two challenges that I see in this business. But, and also, investors sometimes don't understand the turnaround time in the biotech industry is much longer for a product to appreciate, because they're all seeing the tech industry and, things happen very, very fast. But for us, being regulated market, we have to do all our regulatory things as well. So these are some of the challenges, but this ongoing, FDA approval process and predicting the likelihood of a successful outcome has become totally impossible with FDA. So we have to, be very, creative in how we do things in this market. But it's been a challenging thing. It is going to be a challenging thing for us. And also the market being, up and down, fundraising is always a big challenge. But I think, and also this in COVID, what has happened is the short-term demand for this over-the-counter strip tests, which are highly inaccurate, has made it even more challenging for the market for us. So, but, we're muddling through, and there's always startup challenges that we have to face.
So true. On the flip side of challenges come opportunities. And you obviously mentioned a few of those, but if you were to pick the one most exciting opportunity you're targeting, what would that be?
Oh, I think the women's health panel that we are developing, I think that's the most exciting thing for me, at least. This opportunity that we are targeting for various reasons. First, early testing, early detection of cancer is extremely important, and our platform can do that today. And then second, the burden of lifting the cost from insurance companies, because late stage detection can lead to a lot more costs, and these two together can make a huge difference in the world. And I think this is going to be huge benefits across the globe, not just in the US or anywhere else, but across the globe. This women's health panel is going to make a huge difference with the way we are formatting. So I think we are providing a dual solution, you can say. So it's very exciting for me. And that's, I think, our biggest opportunity right now.
And I agree with your excitement, because on one end, you're looking at improving the quality of life instantaneously. Also, there's a lot of efficiency that comes in, not just in terms of saving costs, but just the hassle and the stress one has to go through. I think, we were talking about this briefly, that just living in that suspense for days, right? It just takes a lot out of you.
Yeah. See, when you don't know, it's a different story. But once you know, you want to really know. And that is a big killer. I've seen our friends go through, I've seen some family go through with it. It is not easy. And so I think this makes and having an accurate test is also another very important part that, a lot of people discount that. If I tell somebody a wrong result, that really leads to a big change in how your life is going to be. And I think having that accuracy in the time frame that we are talking about is going to make a big difference. Not just, like you said, in terms of, the medical outcomes, but in psychological outcomes also, huge difference.
One of the things that I'm most excited about, area you're working on, is the detection of allergies. My experience has been, they've been non-conclusive, right? Test after test after test. And so I'm personally more excited about that. And, I'll make sure to keep following up with you on that.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Raise my hand to be a guinea pig for
it. Sure. Yeah, we always need subjects. Yes. But allergy is another big thing, and I'm a victim of allergy problems, and I've had my share ever since I was a little girl. So it's been very exciting to even do that. So I think you will see a lot more stuff coming out of Kaya in the market very soon.
We're really excited about that. Now, as we look forward, let's pause and look backwards in the rear view mirror, as I like to call it. What's one experience that did not work out as you had expected? And also one experience that, you blew it out of the park. It just went beyond your expectations.
Yeah. So these two are very important things, and they are both learning outcomes for us. So one lesson that we learned was, you have to always think, be mindful of alternative approaches. As scientists, what happens, and as entrepreneurs, we are so close to the product that we develop, we kind of become blindsided to a large extent. And we just go in one way, and we think that's the only way that it will work. But you have to be flexible, you have to be open-minded, and you have to be innovative, not just in the product, but in the way you do the business. You have to be very flexible. So alternative approaches are extremely important. And we saw this with our, COVID test. And you could sell it through CLIA labs. You could not only wait for FDA, you can do various things where, it's not like I'm doing something wrong. It's, various approaches to what you want to do. So I think maintaining a perspective and clarity, as well as staying nimble and flexible to an approach, is very, very critical for, and these lessons I have learned the hard way, but it's okay. I've learned and moved on. So, and you talked about a success story. I think we're talking about it right now. It's Kaya17. And, we started in 2015 in a garage, and we have since raised capital. We have done a lot of things. In the middle of pandemic, we said, okay, let's pivot to testing for this virus that is devastating the whole world. Let's find a solution. And in the speed of biotech and diagnostics, the speed is not that fast as we were talking before. It takes time to do certain, but with the team that I had, and with our vision to get this test that is accurate, fast, and it should be something easy to test and saliva based. So today I can proudly say ours is the only 15-minute rapid saliva test in the market. So very, very proud of that. That's our biggest success. And now you'll see more successes will come based on that. So
that's amazing.
So very proud of that. In like 3-4 months, we developed that test, and we had our supply chain set up and everything set up. It was amazing. It was something else.
That is truly amazing.
Even I look back and I'm like, oh my God, did we actually really do that?
Well, many more to come, right?
Yeah,
and
sure.
That's a good transition into my favorite part of the show, the one-line life lessons. So we would love to hear a few of those from you. And just as a recap for our audience, these are not quotes; these are lessons that you've either come up with or have come to adopt, and in turn have come to change your life in your personal and your professional life.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So I always say, there is the famous quote from Hamlet, to be or not to be. There's always that doubt. There's no doubt. It is to be or not to be. That's never a question. It is always to be. That's what I say. See, if you, and another one that I really like is, if you're a failure, if you stop trying, that's where the failure comes. And you have to be very perseverant, never quit. The secret to success is always been trying one more time.
Yes.
And you will get success. You will find success. And that mindset has to be there. So, and also just be yourself, and you can do anything you want. And never pretend to be something else that you're not. You have to be yourself. And you don't meet success without failure. That's for sure.
True. That is so true. Well, thanks, Sulatha, for sharing those. And for our audience, we have an entire collection at onelineLifeLessons.com. We will have Sulatha's one-liners also there pretty soon. And, some of the ones you shared, Sulatha, are very near and dear to me, especially just to be yourself, because I think I remember this one, be yourself because everyone else is taken.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thanks again for making the time to be with us and for sharing your journey and your life lessons with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. This was really nice talking to you. It's actually a nice journey to think about when you talk to somebody else. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Pleasure is all ours. Thanks so much, Sulatha.